have the invocation and the pledge to the flag.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for thy precious Son Jesus. We pray that you watch over tonight and the decisions we make to be most pleasing to you. These things we ask in thy precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will have the roll call.
Anderson.
Here.
Costin.
Here.
Cranford.
Here.
Hilliard.
Here.
Hodges.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
Reagan. Here. Thornton.
Here.
Weldon. Here. Willis.
Here.
Yarborough. Here.
We welcome all of you here this evening. Thank you for taking time to come out. We won't get into it tonight, but one day I'll tell you about 3 little boys and 1 pencil and 1 skill saw. Now, at this time we'll move right on into the minutes. Some of you have heard it before.
Move we approve the minutes as presented. Second.
Got a motion second? All in favor say yes. Opposed or no. We'll go right on into the bills. 1441. I'm sorry.
Coleman.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges. Massey.
Yes.
Reagan. Yes. Thornton.
Here.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough. Here. Again.
One of those nights.
But it's been hot
I was
today.
laughing at him.
Hot. Now then, we'll go into the bills, which is 1441.
Judge, I'd like to introduce Bill 1441, and I would like to ask the clerk to read it entirely, please.
A bill for an ordinance to read as follows, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to appropriate funds from unappropriated general fund 1,000 to general fund 1,000 department 0400 sheriff. Section 1, an ordinance to appropriate $957.67 from unappropriated general fund 1,000 to general fund 1,000 department 0400 sheriff line item 2023 repair parts. Section 2, a check was received from Gallagher Bassett for repair on a 2008 Dodge Charger 35037. Section 3, it is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to approve this ordinance, and it shall be fully effective after passage in accordance with state law.
Just got a due pass from the Finance Committee, and we did receive a check from the damaged vehicle. So I move that this ordinance be adopted.
Second.
I got a motion second on ordinance 1441. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins.
Yes.
Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Next is 1442.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce 1442 and ask the clerk to read it.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to allow the county judge to fill a full-time position in the road department. Section 1, ordinance to allow the county judge to fill a full-time position in the road department. Section 2, ordinance 13-61 to freeze hiring by all Hot Spring County offices until further notice was approved November 13, 2013. An elected official or supervisor may be allowed to hire a new or previous employee upon approval by the Quorum Court. Section 3, it is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to approve this ordinance, which shall be effective immediately upon approval by the Quorum Court and in accordance with state law.
This did receive a due pass, and I make a motion for its adoption.
Second motion.
Got a motion second. Any discussion?
Is this another?
Yes. Now we need a truck driver and a grader operator. Truck driver with CDL license. According to them, they're getting better jobs. That's no joke.
Are you advertising these judges?
Do what?
You advertising these openings?
Yes, we have, and I'm gonna turn around and do it again. Okay?
After I made the motion, this is one that's gonna have to be read 3 times. So can I withdraw my motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Will you need this position immediately?
Well, I think he's here until, I think he'll be using up his time to close to the end of the month. But he's before the next court meeting. He will be
Well,
here.
I make the motion to suspend the rules and read the ordinance for its second reading by title only.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion second, reading the second reading by title only. Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Hodges,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Riggins. Yes. Thornton.
Yes.
Yes.
Willis,
Yes.
Yarborough. Yes. An ordinance to allow the county judge to fill a full-time position in the road department.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and read this ordinance for the final reading by title only.
Second motion.
Got a motion second, read it the third time by title only. Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Hodges,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Riggins. Yes. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon,
Yes.
Willis,
Yes.
Yarborough. Yes. An ordinance to allow the county judge to fill a full-time position in the road department.
This did receive a due pass. I make a motion for its adoption.
Second. Got a motion second, adoption of 1442. Discussion? Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Hodges,
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins. Yes. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough. Yes.
Next bill, 1443.
Judge, I'd like to introduce Bill 1443 and have the clerk read it, please.
A bill for transfer ordinance to read as follows. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, a transfer ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to transfer funds from County Detention Facility Fund 3018 to General Fund 1000 Department 0418 Jail. Section 1, ordinance to transfer $13,500 from County Detention Facility Fund 3018 Department 0400 Sheriff Line Item 3009 other agency housing to General Fund 1000 Department 0418 Jail to the following line items. Line item 3061 gas, $7,000. Line item 3062 water/sewer, $6,500. Section 2, it is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to approve this ordinance, and it shall be fully effective after passing in accordance with state law.
It's got to be passed in committee and make a motion for its adoption.
Second.
Got a motion second for Bill 1443. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Costin,
Yes.
Cranford,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Hodges,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Riggins. Yes. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough. Yes.
Next, 1444.
I would like to introduce 14-44 and ask the clerk to read it, please.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to allow the circuit clerk to fill a full-time position in the circuit clerk's office. Section 1, an ordinance to allow the circuit clerk to fill a full-time position in the circuit clerk's office. Section 2, ordinance 13-61 to freeze hiring by all Hot Spring County offices until further notice was approved November 13, 2013. An elected official or supervisor may be allowed to hire a new or previous employee upon approval by the Quorum Court. Section 3, it is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to approve this ordinance, which shall be effective immediately upon approval by the Quorum Court and in accordance with state law.
I have a question, Mamie. Is this to replace someone?
It is to replace my chief deputy is going to another job, and she will be on payroll until October 18th. So my position actually is open October 20th. is when
We
I,
will advertise it just like.
yes, and I have not advertised yet until after tonight.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules and read this by title only for its second reading.
Got a motion second to read it second time by title only. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
In ordinance to allow the circuit clerk to fill a full-time position in the circuit clerk's office.
I make a motion to read this ordinance by title only for its third and final reading. Excuse me, make a motion to suspend the rules to read it for its third and final reading by title only.
Got a motion second, third time title only. Discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
In ordinance to allow the circuit clerk to fill a full-time position in the circuit clerk's office.
This did receive a due pass through boards and commissions, and I make a motion for its adoption.
Got a motion second to adopt 1444. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins.
Yes.
Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Is Mr. Jason Ballard
Well, we have.
here?
You got some
We have more.
add-ons.
That's,
Oh, I didn't have that on my agenda.
well, nobody else does either because.
Oh, okay, I'm just going by my agenda there. Oh, you're talking about these right here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Here's one of them right here. It's on the grant, you can see it.
Who did this?
Okay, let me go back and start over. Bill 1445. Has to do with the health department.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce 1445 and ask the clerk to read it.
Oh, excuse me.
A bill for an ordinance to read as follows, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to establish Fund 3513 GIF HSC Health Department Grant. Section 1, ordinance to establish DIF HSC Health Department Grant Fund 3513, Department 0300, line item 3200 GIF grant, building renovations. Section 2, a GIF grant check was received from WCAPDD for building renovations in the health department. Section 3 is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to establish this ordinance, and it shall be fully effective after passage in accordance with state law.
I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title only.
Got a motion to read the title on the second time. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
An ordinance to establish Fund 3513 GIF HSC Health Department Grant, General Improvement Grant.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title only for its third and final reading.
Got a motion to suspend the rules and read the third time by title only. Discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Costin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins.
Yes.
Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
An ordinance to establish Fund 3513 GIF HSC Health Department Grant and General Improvement Grant.
This did receive a due pass and I ask for its adoption.
Got a motion second to adopt the adoption 1445. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Austin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins. Yes. Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Bill 1446.
Judge, I'd like to introduce Bill 1446 and ask for the clerk to read it.
A bill for an ordinance to read as follows, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to appropriate funds from unappropriated general improvement grant, HSC Health Department Grant Fund 3513, Department 0300 Health Department. Section 1, ordinance to appropriate $30,000 from GIF, HSC Health Department Grant Fund 3513, Department 0300 Health Department, line item 3200 GIF Ranch, building renovations. Section 2, a GIF grant check was received from WCAPDD for building renovations in the Health Department. Section 3, it is determined that it is in the best interest of Hot Spring County to approve this ordinance, and it shall be fully effective after passage and in accordance with state law.
Judge, this received a due pass in committee, and I move for its adoption.
Second.
We got a motion second on 1446. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Austin.
Yes.
Cranford.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Massey.
Yes.
Riggins.
Yes.
Thornton.
Yes.
Weldon.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Now then,
Tell them the resolution. The resolution that we talked about.
oh, yeah, we got some more, we got some more.
Resolution 14
Oh, okay. Right here, I'm still looking for Jason Ballard back there. Okay, next is, resolution 1420.
I would like to introduce Resolution 14-20 and ask the clerk to read it, please.
A resolution providing that the Hot Spring County Detention Facility be allowed to detain females. Whereas Resolution 08-07 was passed on December 9, 2008 to detain only male detainees in the Hot Spring County Detention Facility. Whereas this resolution would allow the Hot Spring County Detention Facility to detain male and female. Now therefore be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Hot Spring County, Arkansas. It is the desire of the Hot Spring County Quorum Court that the Sheriff's Department be allowed to detain male and female detainees in the Hot Spring County Detention Facility.
Your Honor, this did receive a due pass, and I make a motion for its adoption.
We got a motion for due pass on 1420. Did I get a second?
I'll second it so we can discuss it more.
Okay. We got a motion second on 1420. Any discussion?
Okay, that's why we really, rather than us make the decision of that on boards and commissions, we felt this should be something that everyone should have a say-so and input on. The sheriff is here, and I think he wants to explain the reason that he wants to change this. So we need to let him speak, I guess, after James.
After Mr. Cranford, yes.
The only thing I would say is we had people that in charge of monitoring county jails in the state of Arkansas. They knew that we were not going to have women. The people that built jail knew we wasn't going to have women. They recommended if we were going to have women, we'd have to build it bigger. We didn't build any facilities out there for our females. Why do we have females there today? It may be cheaper, but the cheap way is not the best way always to do things. My theory is that we should never have a female out there at all, because the previous judges and sheriffs and that been in office, they knew that there were not supposed to be any females out there. Now we have females. Whose idea it is, I have no idea. It's got to be someone's shoulder, because if the man's got a key to open the door. I'm against it because if a woman's put out there, she's liable to have a lot of problems. She can sue the county. It's in black and white that it was built for males only. So why do we have women out there?
Okay, I'm gonna recognize the person, probably connected, I'm gonna recognize Sheriff Hollis. Do you want to speak, Ed?
Yeah, I do. Guys, it was 2:08 when we passed that, and it was not near the.
If you want to address the court, Mr. Sheriff, come down to the PA.
He can't hear you, he
Well, I
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
you, speak to it.
Okay, this ordinance was passed in 2:08. And at that time, $30,000 might have covered the incarceration of these, or sending these girls to Sheridan or wherever it is. But in 2013, we spent $77,525. Through September the 4th, we've already spent $88,445. Now, I can't do that on a $30,000 budget. Now, I know we get $28 from ADC, but that money goes into general fund. I've still got to spend that $35 to house these women prisoners and Sheridan, and we haven't got the money. So the only other answer is turn them loose. I mean, you know, I can send them over there. And I was trying to make it the first year, and I was just going to send them all over there. Well, in 3 months or 2 months, they're going to send them back because we can't pay them unless we get over $100,000 in that line item. That's how many women prisoners we got, and I've got the figures and I've got the backup of the whole thing of what we spent so far this year. And it's $88,445.
Now,
And that's not
question,
counting.
who do we pay that to?
That's what we say.
Oh, that's what okay, that's what was
That's what we'd
said.
have had to pay.
That's what we would have had to pay.
And the truth is, if they
But do we
get
know
sick,
what it cost us at the jail to house them? Have we figured that out?
we're working on it. The only cost that's not a fixed cost is our water and our food. So I've got Amy working on that, and we will have a figure. But in my estimate, it's going to be somewhere $12 to $16. And that's for uniforms and the whole works.
Ed, what did you say it cost in 2013 to house the women?
$77,525.
Where did you get that money?
I didn't. We have some over here at our jail. That's how many prisoners. That's how many females we have.
When have you ever, well, you didn't, you housed some last year, sure.
That's exactly right.
You didn't
That's what he's
know?
saying he would have paid, I think. Isn't that
If
what
I
you're
was selling
saying?
all over, that's what it would cost us.
You didn't go over your 30,000 limit last year.
Yes,
On
we
how-
did.
Where did you get the extra
We
money?
came to the Quorum court and they gave it to us. We had an $18,000 bill and we couldn't pay it. So y'all gave us the money to pay it and then we pulled them out. Because we couldn't, we didn't have any more money.
At Sheridan?
Yes. I mean, I'm kind of like in a rock and a hard place. I'll do anything you want me to do. But, you know, I'm going to have, I've already spent $88,000 already. And it's just September. I've got the rest of the year to look at too.
How many females you got out?
Right now, I think we got 9.
9. It cost you $35 a day at Sheridan of them 9.
Right.
So that's 300, a little over $300 a day
Right.
for the rest of the year.
Well,
Now,
sometimes we go.
it's part of them state prisoners.
Absolutely.
The county's getting $28 for that back
Right.
for housing. So the county's only being out $7.
That's correct.
$30,000 go a long way.
Well, no, I don't get that money. I mean, I've got to pay them $35. The rest of it goes into general fund. I never see it.
It goes in the detention fund. It don't go in the general fund now.
It didn't last year.
Yes, it did. It's still going in there.
Carolina, I got $30,000 in there. You wouldn't put it.
I know, I'm talking about in the detention fund. Right?
I'll be glad to pay them if I have the money. I'd be glad to get rid of it. But there's another factor there that nobody's looking at, and that's, if one of them says, I think I'm pregnant, well, I've got to go get them, bring them to Malvern, do a pregnancy test, and then send them back. If they get sick, I've got to go to Sheridan, pick them up, bring them to Malvern, and then take them back. And that happens all the time. And, you know, that's labor, gas, car, medical bills. I mean, this is just scratching the surface, and there's probably another 20 grand there. Easy. But, you know, I'll do whatever you want me to do.
I think your figures is all wrong,
Well, I've got the documentation.
but I have too. Mr. Holmes, can you give us some insight on this?
Well,
Housing females out here in an all-male jail?
if the jail, there are minimum standards for detention facilities, and you have to comply with those standards. And if your jail, because I didn't really know how this jail was built, but if it was not built to house females, then you are running a substantial risk in housing females, because if it turns out something happens to a female and they can point to, we call it deliberate indifference is what we call it. When you know you got a problem and you ignore the problem, then you're deliberately indifferent, and that does create liability for you. And although we belong to a PERMA, and a PERMA would pay up to a number, if you go past that number, that becomes the county's responsibility. If the jail is not built to house females, then I would be hard pressed to do that, Sheriff. I mean, because you got to have, because it's not just the facility, it is also the personnel. You got to have the policies. You've got to have sufficient female deputies on duty 24/7. I mean, you've got to have the medical access. I mean, there's a lot that goes with housing females. Bizarre. And so, if it's, and you got to have complete separation. I mean, it's just, you can't even have hearing within hearing of each other. I mean, there's a lot to
The
it.
jail standards came down and they didn't write us up for it. You know, they didn't see anything wrong with what we were doing. They're in there by themselves. Nobody can see in there.
Well, as long as you're complying with the standards, okay, but
In all reality, the jail was built for females and males.
No, it wasn't either. No, sir, it was not built for male and females.
I got the blueprints that says.
I got the blueprints too, and there's somebody serving on the jail committee, and who else?
Well, they talked to us, if we housed females, there were some certain criteria that had to be met. But they did build it with the intent that we told them that it would be all male. But they did tell us about some of the pods that could be handled the other way with certain criteria. But you had to have certain criteria,
Well,
such as females, watching females,
24/7.
24/7.
And if you're taking a pod and turning it into a female pod, that is one less pod you have for males.
I took my 309 pod and turned it into a female pod.
So what do you do with your 309?
They're in conference room.
Because you know you had a problem with 309s in the
Right.
past.
We fixed it.
And I mean, you just got to be careful the way you treat 309s too. I mean,
I know.
we've been down it.
I had to go to school.
Yes, you did.
Building
And we're still fighting that litigation. We got a litigation over that.
Oh, I had to go and do it.
Yeah, we did. So, I mean, if the jail is not made for females, then that's a red flag right off the bat. And now, I'm not saying you can't do that as long as you meet those criteria, but those are some pretty stringent criteria that have to be met.
Are there female, or do you have enough females to watch them 24/7?
Actually, most jails of our size, their dispatch is in the jail, so that gives you the numbers. So,
But you can't use dispatchers in that number for female jailers.
yeah, you'd be surprised.
Well, Alex, I represent a bunch of cities and counties, and I know when minimum standards comes in, they are not going to let you count dispatchers as female jailers, even though they are there in a backup position.
Well, I believe we're one short right now. We are trying to hire one. We've got 2 applications in there, but right now we are not. We're one short. But, you know, if I send all these girls to Sheridan, I can't pay them. So we're going to go and come up with
How much have you got left in your budget to house?
16,000.
16,000. We just pulled out 13 or something.
Right. That's what, we had 30,000 in there, and we haven't used any of it. That's what we're paying our water and gas with.
Well, in 2008, we passed a resolution
Right.
to not house females, but the resolution as defined is not a law. And the intent, if I remember correctly, when we passed that was, is there's going to be extenuating circumstances once in a while. You may have to hold one for 24 hours or 48 hours. So we didn't want to tie the hands and have a law that said it couldn't happen because you never know. So you could get stuck with one for a weekend or something, and it was until you could get them to Sheridan or wherever. So that's what I remember it being done in 2008 as a resolution, and it wasn't an ordinance because the intent was there. But so it doesn't seem that this ordinance makes a lot of.
We've only got $6 grand left in the general fund, then I don't know how we're gonna pay to have them shipped housed. I don't know.
How many females do you have on average every day throughout a year?
It would average probably 7.
And out of those, how many are states?
State, 3/4.
Well, I'm there, then that kind of
Still
stuff.
paid, and we didn't remember.
3/4 to 7,
Right.
times only
We got
$7 each.
We've got
365 days,
Well,
$30,000.
I need some clarification. So if the state's paying us to house them, if we sent them to Sheridan, and Sharon would be paid to house them by the state, or would we be the
They
go-between?
pay us, they're our babies.
They're ours. Okay.
When we turn it in, the treasurer, she's in the general fund. Mine.
But does the state, what's the state outlook on, if they're paying us to house them, are they expecting us to house them here? Or is there a problem with us housing them then at Sheridan?
They don't care where we put them.
Okay. I mean, I'm just curious.
They don't
I
care
didn't
about the
know.
medical bills, they don't care about anything.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I didn't know the answer to
Kelly.
that.
So we're required to take those prisoners from the state?
It's hard not to.
Actually, you have them first,
Yeah.
and then they get convicted of a felony, and then they become state property. It's not that you're taking them from the state, they're yours, and you want to send them to the state, but the state's backed up. So that's how you get stuck with them. So the state pays you for housing ADC property inmates, but it is $26 a day. And it usually costs anywhere from $35 to $55 if you put all the numbers together. Now, actual cost, who knows? But I mean, that's what they do. But that's what's happening. They're your people. You want to get rid of them, you just can't get rid of them, so they have the doors closed up there.
If you remember, Tommy Robinson chained them to a fence over there.
Huh. You got that truck, you can just stack them in that truck.
Okay, who else? Any other discussion? Yes.
Yeah, I did make a trip over there to see what it looked like, and the ladies' quarters were sealed off. I mean, you couldn't see anything that was going on. You know, there wasn't any glass in it, and according to this review, you know, there wasn't any complaints about as far as the facilities go, and except for not having enough female officers on duty. So. And it, I'm not sure about the money part, but it seems like taking the Sheridan, if there's a problem for the court date and things like that, you have to bring them back, and there's a lot of time in between there that other officers could be doing other things. Gas.
Okay, is any more? Thank you, Don. Any more discussion?
Well, I think that,
Pete, go ahead.
I think that if we don't act on it, it's gonna cost us one way or the other, sooner or later. If we can't fund it for the rest of the year, I don't know where we're gonna get the money, I don't know how much it's gonna take. But some of y'all have never been over there to the federal court to a lawsuit. Now that's something. And I think that we have been there in the past, how many times? 3 times?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
More than that.
Okay.
Makes
A
you
lot
nervous.
more than
A
that.
lot more than that. Makes you nervous.
My end of
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
well, and the judge, I don't know if he's still on the bench, he said that he don't want us to come back over there no more for
He's
nothing.
not on the bench anymore.
Okay,
We're
well,
we're in the.
We still don't wanna go back over there though.
no, maybe his son won't, but anyway, I think from the liability standpoint, it would be, if we could find the money, in our best interest is to send the ladies where they have proper facility, and that'll get the liability off of us. And I'd rather pay the little amount and come up with a lawsuit, we're gonna really catch, because we don't know what's gonna happen, you know.
True. And I
That's why I take the chance, but I don't know if we got the money to do it,
Well, I totally
to
agree.
have,
I
to
do.
send them.
Because, look, I mean, I personally don't want to have it.
Okay.
I do not.
Judge, do we have adequate for finance to send them?
You're on the budget committee, you ought to be able
Let,
to know.
Well, I've been gone.
let me put it like this.
Yeah, but I've been gone a year, now you have to excuse me now.
I will say this, that I recommended to Sheriff Hollingsworth. I recommended that he spend all the money that you've appropriated in there for housing female prisoners somewhere else, and when he runs out, come back and ask you for some more. And, we would just have to start looking.
Okay.
Is there any more discussion?
I need,
Go ahead.
I'll ship them out tomorrow. I mean, I truly will, because it would be a headache that I could get rid of them. It's not easy,
gotta
keeping
make it.
female.
I agree
It's
with you.
not.
I agree with you, Ed.
Yeah,
I mean, it's tough.
it,
Okay. Got a motion second on resolution 1420. Discussion, roll call.
Anderson,
Well, I don't have a copy of it, so I'm going to put notes on
didn't I
Oh,
give
you
you
don't have
copies
a
of it?
What?
I thought I gave everybody a copy of it.
We
We didn't have mine.
Okay.
it. We'll go with that.
No. Costin,
No.
Cranford,
No,
Hilliard,
Yes.
Hodges,
No.
Massey,
Yes.
Riggins,
No.
Thornton,
No.
Weldon,
I know I introduced it, but no.
Willis,
no.
Yarborough. No.
Now, Your Honor, do we need to get an ordinance to this effect with this resolution?
You just need to tell him, ship them to Sheridan tomorrow like he said. He said he would abide by whatever you decided to do.
It's up to you.
And once the money's out, come back and ask for more. I think that's the way to
You
go.
want
I agree with you.
to put more strength on it, it's up to you, Harold.
Sheriff, you're gonna do what they suggested, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't think you need to go to an ordinance yet.
Absolutely don't need an ordinance, because then you
There are some exceptions occasionally.
tie his hands completely
Yeah, he
then.
gets a DWI in there,
And
he
he
needs to hold them
can't,
for,
we
he
can't
bond
tie the
them.
hands completely.
That's right.
The man that's doing the inspection out here on the jail standard is a fine brother. One of the best men in Hot Spring County. But he don't know a lot about the jail. And I don't mean to be talking bad about him.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. He's a lot better than his son. He's a fine brother.
Probably.
He don't know a lot about good talk.
Oh, your dad?
Governor appointed.
Ed, and Mr. Sheriff, let me ask you one question. Has there been any sort of renovations in the jail to change? Has there been any changes in the jail since you've been sheriff?
Yes.
So you have prepared it to handle women. You've made some physical changes out there.
Yeah.
Not brick and mortar. but we have-
Put overgoers out there.
Oh, they got,
Do you really?
Well,
Oh.
they got showers.
but you have not, you have
Yeah,
not.
I've got the,
You have not
I got the
constructed
2000
walls, doors, changed them to where the men can come here and the women can be right here.
But he has met, I believe he's met the state minimum
Somebody's on the
requirements.
grid.
I think he has.
The only thing we done is add
Done what?
Somebody always
Okay,
tries to
next,
make
we have,
Call broke
Mr.
still
Jason.
running.
Thank you, Ed.
You don't go to the elevator.
Do we have
You go to the
Mr.
stairs
Jason
and
Ballard in the audience?
stand. Doors
Next, we
not
have
locked
any
from the
elected
inside.
officials wishing to
Right out there
appear.
in the building.
You've
Go
already
out
appeared,
there,
haven't
man.
Huh?
And this did not pass, so what I'm getting out of this, I need to ship them on Sheridan tomorrow. And that's $16,000 because I spent $3,045 in 3 days. So that $16,000 is not gonna last long.
You have to, Ed, just like pothole, you'll do the best we can. That's all I know. I'm not, that's all I know. Next, old business. Old business. Somebody was supposed to be here with some old or new business. New business. Catch a walleye, huh?
For you.
Huh?
For you.
Make them on call there.
The courthouse, it's been bothering me for a while how dirty the concrete is
Inside the building.
outside. Can't even read Hot Spring County on the front of the building.
You want me to look into what it would cost to get it clean?
Well, I talked to a guy the other day that said he'd do it for $400,
The whole thing.
the whole thing.
Let me tell you a little
Concrete.
problem.
Not the brick, the concrete, I mean, I don't
Okay.
spray the brick.
Tell him to come to see. I
I
thought you
believe
were
we
going to say about
talked to
40.
him a couple of times before, but never done it.
He's come before?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I just forgot. If you don't want to send him, don't send him. Okay? We have a little problem with this building when you put a high pressure on this building. They did it before, and you see that right over there on that wall? That's moisture, but it came through, and some of this old mortar came out of it. It was hard. In other words, we did some damage to the building. But
That's why I'm just talking about the concrete, not the
we're
brick.
talking about where it says the courthouse.
Yeah, the parts that have the blacks running off of.
You can tell him to come to see me if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, he don't have to. That's up to him.
I can tell him to come see you,
Then, but if it's going to be but, just don't send it. That's all I got to say.
but I'm just wondering if you're okay with doing it.
I would have to talk to him and see if he's got insurance and see if he's bonded. If he does any damage, he'll be able to take care of the courthouse. Yeah, I'd like to talk to him. But he'll need to be sure he's got some insurance that where if something did happen, that he wouldn't break him or us either one to fix it.
That needs to be bonded, make sure.
Is there anything else?
Make a motion with Johnny.
Second. Do I get a second? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, but no. Thank you for coming.
Great.